Okay, so let's do our
A
wrap
wrap
up.
up.
So I haven't actually watched anything new since the last time we did a wrap up because I've been so busy. I only watched the movies I needed to watch for the podcast.
Right,
Um,
and we haven't talked for 2 weeks, and yet you're still.
yeah, yeah. What do you mean? 2 weeks? I'm still busy.
Well, no, you still, because you potentially have 2 weeks of movies to talk
Oh,
about,
potentially have 2 weeks. Yeah,
but
but it was
both those weeks you haven't really had anything.
no. I've watched a couple movies and oh, should I? I'll go first, I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
I watched Bringing Up Baby, which I did right towards the beginning of when we started all this rom-com stuff, because I just had never seen it from beginning to end. And it's not a Theo movie, but I enjoyed it. It has some really good lines in it. Not sure Katharine Hepburn doesn't work as well for me as a romantic lead. She works better as a dramatic actress for me. I don't know why, but I still like Bringing Up Baby. Cary Grant is
This
great.
is part of your understanding rom-coms as you get.
Yeah, it's like extra credit that I did for it. It also has the scene where Cary Grant goes, "I just went gay all of a sudden," which is was in a number of documentaries I watched recently about the LGBTQIA experience. So that was fun. I watched Yentl, which for the life of me I don't fully understand why, but I loved. Um,
I don't know anything about it. I've never watched it, so I have nothing to say.
I want to basically it's a musical about a woman. I guess this is at like early 1900s, isn't it? I think that's when it takes place. Who, or maybe it's late 1800s. Anyways, who is Jewish, but doesn't really. I mean, she wants to get married and have babies, and she's a good like she wants to follow the text, the religious text, the Torah, and but she's also really interested in religion. Her father was a rabbi, and they used to talk about it, and that's like a no-no. And so it's a musical all about her, like she like is pretending to be a man so she can go to a forget the name of it, what it's called, but an institution of learning, which is all about religion. And so it's like it's and so she's cross-dressing, and it's a musical, and Mandy
Is
Patinkin's
this
in
one
it.
of those ones where she reveals being a woman by showing her breasts, though? Because that was
Yes,
they
that
talk
that
about
does.
that in Disclosure. What was
I
the name of
think
that?
I think it's Disclosure.
Like, why was that always the scene? Like, why did
Yeah, yeah, I don't know, but well, I mean, I don't know. Anyways, but like, if this is the movie you want, like, if you want a movie about like religious belief and it's a musical and there's cross dressing and something about fluid like love and loving multiple people, multiple genders and whatever and all that, like, this is your only movie. There is no other movie. This is what you have. Like, there might be like one other movie out there that comes close to this or something, but this is it. This is what you get. And so I don't know. I really liked Yentl, and I have no good reason why other than kind of that. I mean, it's also directed by a woman who I guess was famously snubbed at the Oscars. So like, I don't know. It's got stuff. Yentl's interesting. I watched Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. I enjoyed it. It was one of the fun ones. Um, and as I keep saying, like, there's no character in these movies. It's all just about the silly plot and the silly monsters and like the visuals and just what's happening and the goofiness. And this one was one of the enjoyable ones. It has King Caesar in it is the monster for this one. And King Caesar is like he's that this is across multiple Asian countries and I don't fully understand it, but it's like a lion dog. So like I don't know what the term is. I'm not sure what the correct term is in for the Chinese one, but you see the statues of those what's that? Foo dog, but I don't know if that's the correct term anymore. But foo dog maybe. But you have the stone statues and they're usually holding a ball in their mouth or something. I think.
right?
Anyways, so like that was King Caesar and that was neat. And the last thing I watched that I'll talk about is Wolf Walkers, which came out towards the end of last year. It's the same guy that or people that did
Secret of the Kells.
yes, and there's another movie in between, but I forget the name of that. It is really neat looking. I'm a little surprised this is not one on your list because it's 2D art and it's kind of different looking than some other stuff. Uh, Maybe it looks different than Secret of Kells. I don't know.
Okay,
Um,
full confession. I haven't watched Secret of the Cows. I haven't watched this. I know I need to. The style reminds me of Cartoon Network stuff, like what are those? The Action Girls and Dexter and
Powderpuff.
yeah, something about their eyes. And this is not a valid reason not to watch the thing, but it is just I've always just looked at that and like something about it aesthetically doesn't please me, but I need to watch it anyway because yes, you're right. It really.
I think if you once you see it in motion, you'll realize that I see what you're saying, but in motion, I don't think it really
No, this
matches up.
is like an instinctual reaction that I'm confessing to, not like a like I
Right.
really like. Why didn't I like? I haven't watched it, so I can't not like it. I'm just saying I
Right.
see that and I'm like, ooh, Powerpuff Girls. Like I don't want to watch, and nothing against the Powerpuff Girls either. It's just not really
Powder.
my
I think it's
thing.
Powder Puff Girls, but
Whatever.
Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah, it's
Oh, why do I think Powder Puff Girls? I don't know. Powerpuff Girls. I watched it as a kid. I watched some of those as a kid. That and Samurai Jack and Dexter and all that. But anyways, Wolfwalkers, it's pretty good. It's not new. It's not a story I haven't seen before, but it's done with a framing and a specificity of world placement that I haven't seen before. Good voice acting, got some really neat stuff going on. I don't know, it was really pretty. We put it on with the surround sound and everything, and it was a really enjoyable watch. I'm kind of get why everybody's talking about it. It's that thing where like every year at the Oscars, like a Disney movie wins best animation because nobody watches animation except kids, I guess, because people are lame.
And the Academy is made up of a certain group of people.
Yeah, and not that these things matter really, but it's more just like when these are interesting metrics, and it's like if I were to go back and like I do occasionally just out of curiosity like look at like what else was popular this year for the Academy voters, and it's like this would be one where it's like it's probably not going to win, but like this would be the one where I'm like, oh, this is really neat. This is better than the rest of it. So, anyways, Wolfwalkers.
Well, I don't think his other stuff got nominated though because of how that tends to work. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I can't even keep up with that. But it's just that's where how this feels watching it. But that's kind of it. I've also watched some Stargate. We are nearing the end of season 9. And I have not watched much else because I've been so busy, and honestly, I've been watching YouTube videos while I work, and I haven't really been in a place to watch TV. So that's it. What have you been watching?
So I had like a little bit of a struggly drama watching time. I think I told you about it. I started 2 dramas. I won't name names, but both of them were just intriguing enough to hook me in. And then about 7 and 10 episodes in, I was like, oh, this is not going anywhere I want to go. Like it's just going to do this over and over again. And we know I like dramas being slow and dragging things out and so on, but I still have specific needs and wants and desires, so I dropped them both, which if you look at it, that's like 17 hours worth of stuff. And I was like, but one of them was they might have both been 30 episodes long, so it's just like I'm not going to watch another. It would have been what 40 hours for both of them. Like no, I just couldn't. Probably. So that was kind of frustrating to invest that much time into it and be out. I watched Descendants of the Sun, which I sent you a lot of text messages about, which was a very big Korean drama recently. That is the most blatantly nationalistic Korean drama I've seen. He's a soldier, she's a doctor, they're in a fake foreign country. It's interesting how uncritical the internet is about Korean dramas. There are people out there that are like, hey, there's like no LGBTQIA representation. It's not like people aren't talking about it, but you go to the big review sites and they're just cool. Like it's not even like I need them to say this is bad because of the nationalism or something, but it's like they don't even mention it. It's just kind of weird to me. Almost the bigger problem though was that it was half medical show, half romance. So like it spends all this time setting up a romance and then gets kind of weirdly episodically medical, and then it just fizzed out for me, and I had trouble getting through the end of it. I get why people like it. It's very high drama. The lead guy is like super good at his character. You kind of fall in love with him. Totally get why people are into it. It has silly drama stuff that I wouldn't mind if it kind of cohered better. Like spoilers for Descendants of the Sun. He has a cardiac arrest and then he gets up and walks around after it's over, like immediately. And I'm just like, my medical shows the ones I've watched have been very silly. I think there are more serious, realistic ones too. But it's definitely like the Mitchell and Webb show level of like, And
It
I'm
needs the
okay again.
medicine.
I'm okay with that for dramatic character purposes, but since the show is slowly falling apart for me anyway, I was like, no. Like, I was with you earlier when she started someone's heart by beating on his chest. That was fine, whatever. But now you've gone too far. So anyway, but I get why people like it. It's entertaining, and like I said, the lead guy is really good. But more importantly, I found a really good boy love show. It's Korean. A lot of them are Thai, the longer ones. But it's a web series, so it's really short, and it really just focuses on this introvert and this extrovert. And the introvert it's called To My Star. It's by actually a director and maybe a group that did another one that's a lot of people like that I've never watched. It's an introverted chef and an extroverted movie like actor, like and it's fun to me because you really have to watch the introvert to see him falling in love. I find that a lot of times when you see introverts or when they do like gruff, stern people, it's like, it turns out they're just a teddy bear. And once you get to know them, they warm up. It's like, this guy doesn't, and to me, that's always a cheat, a little bit of a cheat. Like, this guy never really warms up. You actually just have to catch the subtle things that he's doing to figure out like what's really going on. And I like that. And then the other guy is really charming. So you almost miss how much of a dick he is at the beginning because he's so charming. You're like, but when you look at it, you're like, no, he's kind of being a dick. Like, so, and I liked it because it didn't have a lot of like other love interests. Like there's not like, there was no woman that was in love with one of them and not the other. Like it didn't have any of that stuff. It was just like the simple, sweet story. The cinematography was good. There's a few iffy parts. I love it when they don't spend money on the credits. I'm fine with that because I'd rather they spend it elsewhere, but it is funny to me sometimes where it's like, it's almost like people cut out stuck on the screen. I would almost have you watch this one if you're in the mood sometime. It's 9 20-minute episodes, so it's like a long movie. You can watch it pretty quickly. And there's some good kissing in it too. So I really liked To My Star. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is I've started watching The Rebel Princess, which is still airing here on the Viki service because our niece likes it. Because she likes historical fantasy Chinese dramas. And I tried one and couldn't get into it. This one's way more my style. It's a little funny because I have to find her name because I don't want to be that person. The lead actress who is the rebel princess is played by Zhang Ji, who was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And she is in her early 40s and she's playing a 16-year-old, which is a little distracting. And I'm pretty sure everybody has been aged up to match. So it's kind of interesting because you're watching something that would have taken place in times where people died quite young, but everybody's probably a little older than they would have actually been. But I'm really enjoying it a lot, and it's a lot of fun. And now I want to watch more Chinese historical dramas, which I've never wanted to do before.
Yeah,
so I might give a.
Is it Zhang Zi? Z?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I said.
She was in the Cloverfield Paradox.
Oh, was that? Oh, she was in. She was She played the Chinese crew person.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. There's not.
We don't know anyone else's name in it. Like in that.
There's no characters in their movie. They're kind of all just that. But she's also in Rush Hour 2. Yeah. She was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Hero, a lot of other things.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's but I'll have to report on it later. It's just very.
Right, she's in Godzilla.
It's very dramatic. It's way more plot heavy than stuff I normally watch, but I am liking it, and I'm going to talk about it.
This is her only credit as a television actor.
Yeah, they were saying that it's her first drama, and you know the problem. I don't mind aging people down, but from 40 to 16 is pretty dramatic, and at 16 you usually still have a little bit of baby fat, and instead she has that more kind of sculpted look that you tend to get as you get older. So it's just hard to like, I have to remind myself like in Little Women when Florence Pugh is playing like a 12-year-old, but she looks like 18, and so it's a
Yeah.
little bit of like a you feel
Yeah.
like you're watching an incredibly immature 18-year-old.
Yeah.
There's a little bit like she does it really well. It doesn't feel like you're watching a 40-year-old pretending to be 16, but
Mm.
it's just she's a really good actress.
Yeah.
But it's still a little bit like having to remind myself that. But I'm belaboring that point way too much. She's a really good actress. The guy she's playing, who plays the male lead, is really good in it. I'm enjoying it. It's the kind of thing you might enjoy sometime, but it's 60 something episodes because China.
I am still working on It's Okay to Not Be Okay. I haven't made it past episode 3 yet, so
You've been really busy.
I've
I
been
mean,
very
I
busy.
that I only even suggest To My Star in a way because you have watched all that other LGBTQIA stuff, and it is short. So
Yeah. No, I actually I wanted to watch an episode of It's Okay to Not Be Okay yesterday or this weekend. I'm not really sure how that's going to work timing wise, but because there's always so many things to do. But
yeah,
I want to finish Away, which I started. Speaking, so what are we gonna watch? I want to finish Away, that TV show which I started. It's a season on Netflix, and I've only got like an episode or two left. I do want to keep watching It's Okay to Not Be Okay. We're getting close to finishing Stargate, which is really nice. There's some other stuff we're watching. I can't even remember what I've started. Star Trek. I want to make sure I actually keep watching the first show, the original series of Star Trek. So there's all that stuff.
you've just been
Um,
so busy.
I've just been so busy. I
Because
honestly
yeah,
don't know what I'm going to watch with movies this week. We have one movie left in our Godzilla box set, the Showa era box set from Criterion, which is Terror of Mechagodzilla, which I need to watch, and then I will have completed that box set and feel like I've done something, some big accomplishment.
meaningful with your life. All the
Yes.
Godzillas will meet you in the auditorium and tell you how important you were to them.
I like that idea. I want to do that, and I also want to keep watching the Japanese noirs. But yeah, I have no clue because I've been working like 7 or 8 in the evening, and it's just like I don't really want to do anything after that. So I actually like paying some attention to the movies. But for us, we are also watching The Quiet Man from 1952. Which who is in that? It's like John Wayne. No, who is it?
Yeah,
John Wayne? No.
yeah.
Is it John Wayne? Look it up. I forget who's in that. Remind me. And we're watching Funny Face, which is Audrey Hepburn and Frank Sinatra, I think. Right?
Who knows who's in any of these things? Yes, it's totally John Wayne, and it's a John Ford film, and it may not be that funny, but we're gonna find out.
Yeah. And I don't know. We're in the 50s now is basically what we're doing, and that will be the last week of February, and that will be our last week of
Rom-com.
rom-coms. So this
Well,
is
we're also going to watch His Girl Friday tomorrow with our mother, so that'll be another rom-com for you to add to your list, which has Rosalind Russell in it, who I've kind of
right,
been enjoying.
right. And maybe if we feel so inspired, we'll even talk about it on the podcast, but we will see. I guess one of us owes another movie because now we've seen Mr. Holland's Opus, but
Yeah, but no. Well, you
yeah,
wanted me to watch Skate Kitchen?
I wanted to watch Skate Kitchen, but yeah,
Let's deal with that later.
yeah, because I may not have time for an extra movie anyway. So let's see how that goes. But that's my plans to watch anything. You're just watching more K-dramas, right?
But you know what I'm watching, because it's Valentine's Day as we record. My
Oh.
Valentine wants to watch Synchronic. So we're going to watch that tonight.
Nice. I'm
But
really
other than
looking
that,
forward to
yeah, I
that.
might end up watching more Chinese historical fantasy dramas. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I really want to watch Synchronic. But anyways, speaking of, it's past lunchtime and it is also
Yeah,
Valentine's Day. So let us be off with our lives. Hope you've enjoyed listening to this. Hope you had a great Valentine's Day. Bye
Goodbye.
bye, everybody.